I'm doing a video parroting of a video parroting. This thing that I was doing was while I'm listening. You see that I had earphones in, which I have now too, which I will be using. Right now I'm not hearing anything because I haven't started to listen to this parroting. But this video parroting, it's a parroting of a conversation I had with a man named Mr. Bong, Bill A. Bong, whom I met in Australia. When I was dancing with Matilda. Anyway, so we had a talk. I have to admit to hogging the conversation, as I always do. But he did talk, and he had a lot to say in the few moments that I allowed him to. He knows how to speak in edgewise, Instead of taking time, the kind of chronological kind of time that we think of, that there's a moment and there's a next moment. He's learned to speak in an edgewise way, so he doesn't take any time. He can be expansive, but without any time being taken up. It's a very impressive skill. Because, man, and I know it a lot. I recognize it a lot because that's the only way people can talk to me is if they figure out how to get their words in edgewise. I just fill up all the time. Actually, I'm trying to get better. I'm trying not to do that. I'm trying to actually stop every once in a while for a minimum of 14 nanoseconds. I work on that one. It's gotta be a full 14 nanoseconds. I can't start talking again in only 12 nanoseconds. I can't. I've got to wait. And I'm getting better at it. I'm actually thinking about increasing the amount of time. I'm thinking about going up to 21 nanoseconds. We like to go in sevens, Eventually we'll get up, Eventually I'm going to be quiet for 7 days at a time. But that's a long way now because we started with 7 nanoseconds and 14 nanoseconds and then 21. So it'll be a while before I'm just shutting up for a whole week or for a 7-year period for that matter. Actually, if I were you, I wouldn't hold my breath until then. I'm not sure I would either for that matter. I'm not sure I'm ever going to get there. Well, once I'm dead, it'll be really easy. 7 years, 7 decades, 7 centuries, 7 eons, 7... It gets complicated because 7 big bangs, Buggle, buggle, boom, bada-boom, 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 It's like a little accordion universe we live in, or whatever, or is it ever expanding and it's never going to go back? Which is hard to understand, because what's going to happen when it gets to the end? There isn't any end. That doesn't make any sense. Yeah, this is why we have religion, so people can have nice stories to explain things that we absolutely can't understand. And to be honest with you, I think religion is a bunch of hooky-padooky. Not spirituality, and when I say religion, I'm not talking about, say, somebody, I know a lot of Catholic people, I'm married to a Catholic woman, and Catholicism, for some people, many, many people, has a very, very deep spiritual component to it, and all the ritual and stuff is tied to, in these people's minds and hearts, to the spiritual piece. And as such, I'm fine. I'm absolutely fine with the spiritual component of any religion. I have a problem with when some people say, well, we are closer to God than you, so we are going to tell you what God wants. We're going to interpret for you, because we are closer to God than you. Excuse me, you see this hand? It's got 5 fingers, there's a middle finger. You see this hand? I've got 5 fingers on it, there's a middle finger. Never mind. I'm not you, the person listening. I'm talking about the hierarchy of the church. The same people who say, we're gonna put all this effort into making people not be able to choose whether they have a baby or not, because that's murder. And we don't want murder, but it's really fine for men who are celibate, as we know, they're men, they gotta diddle little boys every once in a while, so it's okay. I have problems with that. That's religion as opposed to spirituality. Anyway, we got to get started. So the idea, okay, so you're seeing me get ready to video parrot this video parroting of an audio capturing. This fellow, Mr. Bong, and I had this very nice conversation, and I originally planned to just play it on the left channel while you listen to me you listen to this thing, the one that's over there, on the right channel. But then I found out, no, there's too much crossover, and it's too confusing. So, listening to you, I did listen to you, but I didn't listen all that carefully. Not to you, to our conversations, what I mean. And really, it's mostly my talking. Every once in a while, you talked. And for the most part, I did not do what we call close parroting. Every once in a while I go, wait, I want to do some close parroting. Close parroting is hearing, or it could be seeing too. It could be a visual parroting, but not so what we're talking about. We're talking about audio parroting. When you hear something, and then you mimic it, you just repeat it. And the fundamentally important skill here that you want to develop in order to do this is to go directly from hearing, like from here, the part of the brain that hears to the part of the brain that makes the sound, without all the interpretation. Because the idea of parroting is to take in an actuality as it is, and just take it in to the point where your mind is not interpreting it, it's repeating it, reproducing it. And when that happens, that whatever that thought process was that happened, whatever screwy things happen, whatever times you get mixed up or start saying something and then you realize that's not what I meant to say, all of that becomes more firmly in your experience. Every time we do anything, it becomes part of our experience. So that if you're taking something that you've done, or somebody else has done, parroting has really developed specifically to be a self-feedback thing, kind of like self-therapy. 20th century therapy, we spend all this money, and the only way we could spend this much money is through insurance. So the insurance companies spend this money, we pay our co-pays, which still might be a lot of money, because psychotherapy can be very important to many of us. I would say, there are very few people in the world that could not benefit from good therapy of any sort. Real therapy. Real therapy means being more healthy, working to become more healthy in your body or your mind. Physical therapy. It's learning how do you recover from this injury without falling into the standard traps that most people do fall into. Hello there. How you doing? That's my friend Boyne the Fixer. He fixed me up the other night. I have to say, I have frequently said onto this very K-Flow TV station, although it hasn't actually gotten on the air, but I've said that this guy Boyne over here, Boyne the Fixer, I really appreciate him getting me to that party, because I met some very interesting people. I had a lot of fun. Thank you, Boyne.
Anytime.
And if there are any others like that, I'm happy. That was fun. That was really neat. Yeah, yeah. So, no. So anyway, you know what I think I need to do? Because I was going to then go ahead and do this thing, and I will, but what I'm going to do is stop for now, wrap it up, because this is a standalone. It's an introduction, and I realize I'm not the greatest at being concise. Now that I'm writing more, writing is the time to really work on concision. I just had to write a letter to a judge in New Jersey for one of the 5 times I've been arrested. It's unbelievable. And I'll put that up. I've decided, I want to put it up and introduce it. What I say contextualize. Because the idea, we Parrotopians, all of us. Actually, there are other people who are kind of saying, this is neat, but I thought, to be really honest with you, there are a lot of us inside. So when we say we, all the different parts of us are here talking to you right now. But we Parrotopians, well, we are into the idea of actuality. A medium in which we are sharing actuality. What's really going on. So we've been working on various ways of being able to take what we know to be true in our general experience, or even if we don't know whether it's true. I mean, actually, not to take our general experience and then be able to relive specific actual pieces of our experience, which then allows us to become more connected to who we actually are. So that's what this is all about. And with that, I'm going to stop this. That's it. And Mr. babBillABong, I just decided that to do what I originally planned with the dialogue we had, it's just too much work. And this is about the 3rd iteration. And I've said, wait a minute, it's too much. If you want it, we could have another dialogue, and we could set it up that's more with the idea of, what are we going to do with this dialogue we have? So anyway, you, Mr. babBillABong, who lives in the place we call Ohot, an acro name, oh hi over there, because people are so friendly. Actually, that's a red herring. We do that a lot. We put red herrings into our codes so that people think we mean something when we mean something else. And actually, it's a game at this point. We're not paranoid, but we play the paranoia game, kind of because it's fun. We put things into codes and make it a little, we make it into it's something you just got to work on because it's fun, like working on a jigsaw puzzle, a crossword puzzle, whatever. It's fun. People go to these murder mystery dinner theater things. Well, get involved in figuring something out that somebody else came up, a little puzzle that somebody else has come up with. So we're doing that all the time. So the place that Mr. babBillABong lives in is Ohot. Right now we're in the town of Topeka, Ranyan. And later on today we're going to go to Puntdum. That's just a place in which all the vowels have been taken out, so most people know what I'm talking about if they're from around here. And these three locations are what we are thinking of as the Parrotopian Metroplex. The center of the new way. Now, how the hell do I stop this? That's right, it's very simple. But I'm going to stop this first. 14.